Here is the posterior compartment of the arm. Here we see there is a large muscle. This muscle has three heads: is the lateral head, long head, and there is a medial head. According to this head, the muscle is named as the triceps muscle. This is the main muscle of this posterior compartment. This muscle originates from the scapula, in this part of the scapula, in the infraglenoid part, and from this part of the humerus and this part of the humerus. This in between these two heads, this is the lateral head, this is the medial head, there is a groove. This groove is known as the radial groove or the spiral groove. After originating these areas, this bulky muscle insert in this part of the olecranon process of the ulna. Here you see the whole muscle. Here the origin of this lateral head and the long head, and finally it insert in this olecranon process. Here you see this is the long head. Here is the long head of the triceps. These muscles, long head, these muscles runs from the scapula to the arm through the space between the teres minor and the teres major muscle. Then it passes downward. This long head of this triceps muscle forms the quadrangular space. Here is the superior triangular space and the inferior triangular space. Here in this inferior triangular space we can see there is the teres major. Here is the long head of the triceps. Here is the medial border of the arm, medial border of the humerus. Through this inferior triangular space, there are two structures comes. This is artery. This artery is the profunda brachii or deep brachial artery, and there is a nerve. This is the radial nerve. This radial nerve is formed in the brachial plexus. Here we see this is the brachial plexus. From the posterior cord of this brachial plexus, and the terminal branch is the radial nerve. After forming this posterior cord, this nerve passes behind to reach the back of the arm, underneath the muscle of underneath the teres major muscle. Here we see this is the radial nerve. After entering into the back of the arm, this muscle runs laterally through the radial groove, and then it passes downward. There are some branches in here to supply these muscles of this back of the arm. This is the radial nerve. There is another structure. Just lateral to this radial nerve. This is the profunda brachii artery. Here we see this is the brachial artery. After forming the brachial artery underneath the teres major muscle, it has a branch. This branch is known as the deep brachial artery or the profunda brachii artery. Here we see this artery winds back to the back of the arm and then passes downward. This artery, along with this radial nerve, it passes downward. This is the content of the posterior triangle. Here we see another content in the lower part of the posterior triangle. Here we see there is ulnar nerve. It passes through the medial intermuscular septum to reach in the back of the arm. These are the structures of the posterior. Another structure we see here, this is the circumflex humeral artery and the axillary nerve. These are also remain in the posterior compartment. Thank you all.